Welcome back to World of Concrete 2021, and I'm here joined with Dean Maris of the Cortex company. Thanks so much for being with us, Dean. Tell us a little bit about Cortex and how the company got started and how you got to right here.
Yep, sure. So Cortex is a company that was founded originally way back in about 2004. It was a combination of two companies out of New Zealand, and we merged in 2015. And we were both, the companies prior to that were amazing at designing hardware for the telematic industry. And we served really three main critical markets. And one of them, of course, is construction materials. And the other one was the waste and recycling, which is actually the reverse of construction in the supply chain.
Right.
And the third was the refrigeration.
Okay.
So seeing those three markets and having control of your destiny on the hardware has put us into quite a leading edge in the industry. We serve three markets. So we're in New Zealand, we're in Australia, we're in Canada and United States.
Okay. So with those three markets that you serve, obviously you're here at the World of Concrete because you serve the construction industry, the construction market. How do those three markets that you serve kind of play against each other or play with each other?
Sure.
And how can you pull advantages from each one to better serve the construction market?
Great question. So effectively, what we do specifically in construction ready mix, to have the hardware on, say, the ready mix trucks, you need to be able to integrate into the dispatch systems, so the Janelles, the Marcottes, the Cystine commands, and they're in all three markets. Most of them are.
Right.
So integrate into those, you need to have that. So there's a common protocol. And so we're able to put our technology in each of those markets, and they, outside being one's in kilometres and the other one's in miles, it's very, very similar in what they're looking for. They're looking for things like, the waiting times, what the slump is on the concrete, on the mix, all those things, very, very common themes. So that's kind of nice for us to be able to scale on all those three markets.
Awesome.
Very similar. It's all about the integration piece.
Right. So with the integration, what are we talking about here? What are the products, the nuts and bolts? What are the actual things that you're pushing to the market?
Yep. So what they need is a dispatch will send the ticket information through to our what we call a core hub, which I'll explain a little later.
Sure.
So that's the hardware that lives inside the ready mix trucks, all the bulk materials, aggregate trucks.
Okay.
And then typically is a screen that the driver will receive the ticket information. And then we're then tracking. So we are the supply chain transparency from the plant to the job site, or from the quarry to the plant. And so we're giving that visibility, so they could have the most amazing mix, amazing batching mix, but then they lose the transportation or the visibility of, well, how was that mix? I mean, what does it look like? I mean, has water been added on the job site that we don't know about?
The answer is yes, but how much, right?
Exactly. And it's all about the quality too. So the last thing you want the producers to have is a mix being poured, not being followed closely, and like not having one of our systems, and then suddenly there's cracking in the concrete, and now there's a QC problem. Now you got to jackhammer it up. So that's where we provide that visibility through that. So that dispatch integration, ticket information inside the cab, and then using our sensors to know when you arrive at the job site, how long you've been waiting, how many drum counts have you done, and how long you've been pouring for and coming back.
Right.
So yeah.
So how is this massive amount of information taken and then scaled down to where somebody can look at it and get to the core root of maybe an issue they're having, or really give an all-encompassing picture of how their mix is performing?
So we've got a cloud-based software solution called Core 360, and so put the mindset of the dispatchers. So they are super stressed about where the ready mix trucks are. So they're all about tracking the vehicles through GPS through the core hub, and knowing when is that truck going to be available for the next job, because the contractor's saying, hey, I need my mix now, and I need, by the way, I need another 50 yards.
Right.
And so they're sitting there stressing out trying to organise that. So they need a platform looking through the web I'm tracking these trucks and the statuses.
Sure.
And then you put the safety guy on. So now you're looking at the safety guy, making sure the drivers are, not going over their hours, they're not driving. The last thing we want is a loaded right turn. A loaded right turn, you're going to have a freaking ready mix truck roll over. So we know when they're doing a loaded right turn, and we know, the G-force, and so we can now put scoring against the drivers. We've got a brand new, what we're super excited is a brand new camera solution. So we're now able to see what the driver's seeing, and start to look at that safety side of there, and then of course the QC, so quality control. So there's those parts. So they're the three main markets you serve in the safety, that supply chain, and it's really down to minute by minute updates. So it's high definition data,
and that can be pushed to a phone, a tablet.
Typically the tablet inside the cab, they can track it on a main computer. You'll typically see like a Marcotte dispatch, and you'll see our product right beside it. So where they've got the Kanban of the statuses, and then they've got our actual tracking, and then they can tie it, and we've got that fully integrated. So the horizontal integration piece is very important. And then there's other products like Cedra who do the inside the mix, they're doing the temperature, air entrainment. So we integrate into that, and we bring that into our system, showing right beside the screen. So
awesome.
It's really cool.
Well, let's talk about the hardware that it takes to get this information to the people.
Yeah, sure. So we've got the brains of the unit is the core hub. So this is what we call a truck area network. So it's got obviously it's got tracking, it's got dual SIM cards, so you can then be on a Verizon or an AT&T network. So there's places that one's better than the other. Well, we're able to test both networks. It's got dual CAN bus, so we can connect to the bodybuilder for some of the sensor data of the McNeilus or the Cortex. And there's also the main CAN for engine diagnostics, so we're doing a lot of that service information. And then what's wonderful is it's actually like an access point. You literally could put this in your house and it's an access point. Most other telematics are a client, so you would connect to an access point. This can be
the connection
either. This is the connection point. So this is where it gets really interesting. That lovely wee device here, the drum sensor, what we try to solve there was there was patents in the United States that only about a year and a half ago, 2 years, that just expired. So no one else was able to put a sensor on the drum to give you the statusing of mixing or pouring or how many drums or drum counts. If you're doing a DOT job, you don't want to go over 300 revolutions. So what we did is we knew this was coming on, so we wanted to have this, so it was a 2-minute install with an app on the phone, and have this wirelessly communicate, self-calibrate, so literally self-calibrates, and it knows the direction of mixing or pouring and the speed and the count. So that has changed. Something that was $300 in a 2-hour install is now rented just for a few bucks a month, and a 2-minute install. That's awesome. That's game changing.
Well, that's great. When people decide to implement this wonderful piece of technology into their fleet, into their business, where do they go? Where do they go to learn more about Cortex and get started?
You're literally just about the whole sales pitch is on our website, so it's Cortex with an E. So Cortex.com, and we've got our 800 number with 24/7 support there. So typically they can inquire through the website, phone, or here's all my details as well, and my sales guys' details. So typically the website's a good place to start.
Awesome. Well, Dean, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for what you're doing for the industry. And we look forward to seeing what you guys come out with in future years.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to the Add 10 Gallons Concrete podcast social media pages for more technical advances and new products here at the World of Concrete 2021.